70 British MPs are accusing the BBC of anti-Brexit bias now in its coverage of the country's decision to quit the EU. They've signed, in fact, an open letter saying Leave supporters didn't get as much airtime in the aftermath of the referendum. With more on that, here's Laura Smith.
It's a culmination, essentially, of months of ramblings in the Tory party about the BBC being anti-Brexit. And the thrust of this letter is that the BBC is inherently biased against Brexit and that it's been ignoring the facts in order to put that view across. The letter said that the corporation was too focused on regretful Leave voters, so people who had voted Leave but then immediately changed their minds and wished that they hadn't, even though actually the polls show that there had been no significant shift towards Remain in the months since the referendum. It also carried quite a stark warning. It said that if politicians and the public don't view the BBC as impartial, then its future will be in doubt. The BBC has responded to this letter. It has said that it includes a range of voices from across the political spectrum and that its job is to hold all politicians to account. It also pointed out that the letter was pretty general and didn't carry any specific examples. What's interesting, actually, is that the man who wrote this letter, who was the sort of brains behind it, is a man called Julian Knight. He's an MP now, but before he was a journalist working for the BBC. And he explained why he wrote the letter. He said that he was worried that the BBC was alienating not just the 52% of people in the UK who did vote for Brexit, but also many like him who had voted to Remain but were now focused on making Brexit work and taking advantage of the opportunities that it had to offer. Here's an idea of the kind of reporting that he's talking about.
I didn't hear it till this morning, but I'm totally shocked.
I've got 3 children and it's the first time that I've seen them in my lifetime really upset about something that democracy's achieved.
I don't think people really understood the economic consequences.
That was reporting from immediately after Brexit, from the 24th of June, but the letter warns that if this pessimism from the BBC continues, then it could undermine politicians' efforts to carve out this new role for Britain in the world that they want to see.